Why can you never get a break? Is it just you? And what are we going to do about it? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, my name is Bennett. I'm here to share some ideas that have helped me move the needle just a little bit, and I hope you find them beneficial. For so many of us, we try, and we just can't get ourselves past it. We see other people being able to do so many amazing things, and yet for us, for our lives, for our success, whether it's personally, financially, we just can never get a break. So in this video, I'm gonna break down a couple different reasons why that might be and what is it we can start to do about it in order to allow ourselves to start moving forward like it seems like the rest of the world is doing. And the first place we need to start to ask ourselves this question is, what is it that we're doing and how is it that we're framing other people's success? For so many of us, we look at other people and we start to see what is that they're doing and we say, why are we any different? Why can't we be doing those things? And because of that, we're starting to compare ourselves to the other people. You see, if everybody around us was only going to be a failure, so we wouldn't only feel so bad about ourselves because that's just the way everybody does. Why is it we don't feel bad we're not a billionaire? It's because there are not so many billionaires out there. And if everybody was comparing themselves to the billionaires, then guess what? They would feel like trash. But because we're all comparing ourselves with our peers and our friends who we think we could be doing what they're doing, that is why we keep beating ourselves up. And that's why comparison is so dangerous, because we think everything that we have in our lives is similar to other people's and we should be ahead of them. But what we have to realize is we can't be focusing on other people. The most successful people pick their lane, they pick their strategy, they see what cards they're holding up, and they just move forward with that. Once you start to lose sight of that, and once you start to look at other people's lane, all that's going to happen is you're going to end up driving into them. They say about NASCAR drivers, when they're driving hundreds of miles per hour, they can't be looking at the places they don't want to hit, but they have to be looking at the places that they're going to be going. And the same thing goes for us. If we're constantly looking at other people, all we're going to do is we're only going to crash into the walls. Everybody has a different story and everybody has a different way to get to the places that they want to be getting to. So even if you might say to yourself, well, that guy got a break or that girl was able to know somebody, guess what? There are people in your circle, there are people in your life, or maybe there might be people in the things that you're going to be doing that are going to be able to help you in terms of what it is that you want. But I guarantee you that if you're constantly comparing yourselves to other people, you're not going to be able to get there. You see these videos of successful people, and the thing is that they're all different. And what you have to realize is that your story is going to be different also. Once you stop comparing yourself, you're going to be able to get onto the path and start being able to move forward. The second thing you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you're doing every single day that is helping you move to the path that you want to be getting on? And I'm not talking about the ultimate life that you can be having or your dream board, but I'm talking about the things that you can and should be doing every single day. Why are you not getting up at the time that you should be getting up? Why are you not going to sleep at the time you should be going to sleep? Why are you not eating the things that you should be eating? The things that we actually have the ability to control. And for so many people, they're so upset about themselves because they're not doing those things. And one of the biggest ways to build our self-esteem, to understand and build ourselves up, is just by doing the things that we say we're going to do and the things that we want to be doing. It's not things that we don't want to be doing. It's things that we want to be doing in order to allow ourselves to become the people that we want to become. And even if you're not in that place yet, understand, start to think about, how is it that I want to be living my life every single day? And remember, we're not talking about the ultimate version of you. We're talking about the most basic version that you can start doing tomorrow. If you start thinking about those things, then all of a sudden you're going to start to see yourself slip into that role. It's one of the things that happened to me with my health. You see, for my whole life, I never really had to think about what it is that I was going to be eating. And I wasn't eating the healthiest of things. But I knew at some point I was going to be eating healthier in my life, that I was going to take my health more seriously. And then slowly but surely, I started to find myself being more conscious in terms of what it is I wanted to be eating. And then I was able to find somebody who was able to really help guide me in that path. I wasn't ready to do it when I first started thinking about it, but then over time, when I was able to get myself into it, I was able to be there mentally, which allowed me to be there physically too. Ask yourself, what are those things you want to be doing? And then you're going to start to see those small steps that you're going to be able to take. And if you're somebody who maybe is not able to commit or not able to do something so big, start small. Commit to one small thing. Commit to one small act that's going to allow you to be able to move forward and take advantage of your life. Remember, this is your life and you have the ability to be able to move forward. And even if there are other things and other resources that you don't currently have, how can we get ourselves to that place where we can get to those things? Has there ever been somebody in a worse position than you in the history of the world that's never been able to get ahead? And if the answer is yes, then of course you're going to be able to get through it. We just have to figure out what the right strategy for you is going to be. The third thing we need to ask ourselves is, who are the people around us? And this is something that is so key, because for so many people, they're surrounded by people who are just holding them back. You might think that they're doing well for us, but we don't realize the impact they are having around us. And this doesn't mean we need to push everybody away from us. But what this does mean is that we need to start to figure out who are those people that we need to be bringing closer into our lives that are going to help bring us up. We all had that one teacher or that one person who believed in us, and that's the type of people we need in our lives. This isn't one of those rosy, fuzzy things, but I'm telling you, the people who have supportive people around them and the people who support them on their journey are the ones who are going to be able to move forward and take advantage of it. For so many people, they don't realize the support that they can be having around themselves. And what's so cool about the internet nowadays is that you can really find communities of people. I personally recently wanted to find a specific community, and I found that community, and now I'm surrounded by like-minded people. So in this one specific area in my life, I'm able to take it up a notch. I don't have to learn and feel like I'm doing it all by myself. I now have peers that are able to help support me and guide me to make sure that I can get there as quickly as possible. Make sure you're being surrounded by the right people that will be able to pick you up and help you reach your goals that you're looking to attain. The fourth thing you need to do, and this is something that I started doing a couple years ago, and I remember the first time somebody actually asked me about it, they said, "Bennett, why are you so happy all the time?" And I laughed because the months before that, I was actually starting to smile just a little bit more. And I wasn't just smiling, I was practicing smiling. Meaning for every single day, I would smile for 30 seconds in the beginning of the day. And what it did was it trained myself to be able to smile, to be a happier person. It's one of those tests that you can do that if you take a pen or a pencil and put it in your mouth, after about 30 seconds or so, you're gonna just feel happier. And the reason why is because your cheeks open up and you start to just smile. It's something that can be so powerful when it comes to who it is that we want to become, and understand that we can train ourselves to be happier. We can train ourselves to really start to appreciate the things that are all around us. And that is something that we have the ability to work on. And if we can work on that and really work on our ability to just love ourselves more and become happier and to allow ourselves to do so much more, do you not think you're going to be so much more accomplished? Do you not think you're going to be excited every single day to be able to move forward and take that action? That is something that we need to understand and figure out for ourselves. And once you have that ability, I'm telling you, you can start to move forward and really take that action. So understanding that we can train ourselves a certain way and to become happier in whatever way it is that we want, that could be something that can really help move the needle just a little bit for us and allow us to start to see ourselves in order to be able to move forward. And the fifth and final thing I want to tell you about is to really understand that you need to change your expectations. For so many people, they beat themselves up so much because they don't realize what it really takes to become successful. They have this idea that so-and-so did it and they did it overnight, or that person was able to win the lottery in that specific field. But what we have to realize is that in order to become successful, we have to be disciplined and we have to be patient. For so many people, they don't realize this and they get so beat up because their expectations of what it really takes is just not there. If you really want to become successful at something, you're going to have to work at it. And guess what? Work is not a bad thing. You're going to feel more alive and you're going to learn more about yourself during that process than any other process that you can do. What is it that you're doing? What is the expectation that you're having that just might be really unrealistic? And once you're able to move yourself forward and to say, hey, you know, what is it that I can start to switch? That can really start to shift so much in our life. It was one of the biggest things that happened to me in my 20s because I kept thinking that I was going to be able to become successful so much quicker than I was. And I kept trying to find the shortcuts that were going to be able to help me move forward. But guess what? That wasn't true and it wasn't the way it works. We have the ability to become successful, but we have to shift our expectations in terms of what it is that we need to be doing in order to reach that success. That being said, if you're the type of person who gets so emotional, make sure to take a look at this next video where we talk about how not to get so emotional.